Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Today is Monday, the morning after Easter. Hope everybody had a great Easter. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra JoJo. I am the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. These allergies got me this weekend. So it was rough for me. I sneezed, I coughed, I had runny nose. I had a little bit of everything going on this weekend, but that's okay. We had a good Resurrection Sunday. Morning, Trenda. Why am I screaming like you can't hear me? I think because I'm used to talking loud anyway. Maybe that's it. Hold on, let me add my fearless co-host. Let me bring you guys in just a little bit. Y'all ready for Monday? Just a little bit. Sit it right there. Leave me alone, Trina. I know it. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. Good morning, Malachi.
Good morning.
You know it's spring break, so my little mini-me is here with me all week, and we going to Six Flags today. So hey, Trenda, Isaac, and Nathan, if y'all on spring break, y'all can come and join us. Yes, guys.
There will be no need me going to any fun part because I'm not getting on a ride. Not getting on a ride.
Well, you can watch the kids.
Huh?
You can watch the kids.
Yeah, I'm a pocketbook holder kid watcher. That's what I do.
Trenda says, "Hi, handsome."
Hey.
He ready to go too.
All right, good deal, good deal. Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for Financial Confessions and Conversations. Nope. Thank you for joining us for True Confessions and Conversations about your life and finances. Yes, I got it right this time.
Trina, you be careful walking.
Yes, with us. Today, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go with that quote, Miss JoJo, if you're ready to go.
I'm ready.
All right, guys. The quote this morning, let me pull that back up. I'm so sorry. I thought I had everything right in front of me. And just a little bit slow, but it's okay. Oh, this is the quote. Life is a learning experience only if you learn, by Yogi Berra. I was like, yes, life is a learning experience only if you learn. Guys, how many times have you gone through situations with people in your life and they keep doing the same thing and they keep coming back to you and they keep saying, I'm sorry, and they keep saying, I'm not going to do it again, and they keep coming back at you, right?
What's the world?
I know you can relate. I know you can relate, but I just had to share that. Yogi Berra said, life is a learning experience only if you learn. And some of us, it takes more turns. You have to go through the cycle so many times before you finally get the message. It's the same thing as hearing something over and over and over, but you don't really hear it until you hear it. You have to do the same thing with lessons in your life. You have to learn them over and over, and you have to go through them, experience them over and over and over until you finally get that lesson. Case in point, your children. How many of you can relate to this? You can tell your child something 11 times, like my mom used to say. I told you that 11 times, but you didn't hear it until somebody else said it to you. And then you came back and told me what they said. And I'm sitting here looking at you like, really?
Yep, my kids do that all the time. Yep.
Yes. So you don't hear it until you hear it. You don't learn it until you learn it, right? So that's right. The same thing about life. And that's one of those things, guys, that unfortunately we simply have to deal with. Life is a learning experience, and you don't learn it until you learn it. That's Yogi Berra, guys. So I thought that was so appropriate for us today as we start April off with a bang, right?
Yes.
Start this April off. We're in the second quarter of 2018. It's just so amazing, guys, how quickly the days go now. When we were kids, right? Can you relate? When you were a kid, the day was so long, right? You had to go outside and play. And we were outside playing under the tree because Grandma used to send us outside under the tree. You couldn't play in the house. You had to go outside. And the day was so long. We couldn't wait for my mom to, it's close to time for her to come home because we knew it was 4 o'clock and He-Man would come on, right?
What?
Okay.
Girl.
Right? I took you back for a moment. But yes, guys, life is definitely a learning experience. We got to keep it moving regardless because time waits for no one. Little one, sit your little head down, please. Time waits for no one. Yes, when we were kids, it never ended, but now it's moving so quickly. So let's move on to our lesson for today. Guys, unless there's something else you would like to add, Ms. Co-host. All right, guys. So what am I talking about today? I wanted to share a few things with you. Today is basically a summary show. I'm going to go back and just revisit some of the things that we've talked about in regards to your financial situation. We've talked about how do you begin, where do you begin, and all the different things you should be doing around your finances. But guys, I just want to share with you briefly a couple of things, a couple of did you knows, right? We all know Warren Buffett is one of the investing geniuses, right, that has lived. His name is very well known. Charlie Munger, name's very well known because of the things that they've done with long-term investing. But did you know that Warren Buffett invested in his first stock when he was 11 years old? 11 years old. Then what's the problem with us guys and getting our finances together for ourselves and also for our kids? Once we recognize the importance of that fact, right? What's another thing that Warren Buffett does differently from us? Do you guys not know that he lives in the same house that he purchased in 1958? Lives in the same house. Yeah, he did make a few modifications, but they were not as extensive. As much money as he currently now owns, you would think he would have upgraded several times, right? When he upgrades in the sense of an investment property, right? Because somebody else is paying him the money. He's not upgrading just for himself. He's upgrading as far as investment, right? He's getting an ROI. He's getting a return, and he's getting significant returns. So as we go through this morning, I just wanted to revisit the conversation about the 7 types of investors. What are those 7 levels? Those 7 levels of investor. Remember, this is a teaching from Robert Kiyosaki that we'll be talking about. And when we talk about these 7 levels of investor, the level 0, ground level, is the non-existent investor. And guys, what I want you to do, and we've talked about this before, think about the first time you heard this conversation, right? About these 7 levels of investor. Are you in the same place? Really, Malachi? Are you in the same place that you were when we initially had this conversation? Or have you now moved to the next level? Or are you on this journey and you're doing those things that are going to get you to your next level in your investing? Those are the questions I want you to think about as I'm reviewing these 7 different types or these 7 levels of investors, all right? So ground 0, right, is the level 0 investor. This is the non-existent investor. And this typical person says, I don't make enough money to invest, right? So they spend everything that they bring in and everything simply goes out the door. They don't take advantage of any opportunities to invest. They haven't even thought twice about it because they simply are focusing on their income as opposed to focusing on the outcome, right? And that's another thing that I want to share with you guys until we catch this. And I know you've heard it over and over and over, but until you get this within every fiber of your being, till you get this, grasp it and understand it, it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. And then it doesn't matter where you start. So if you're starting at $25,000, $50,000, guys, once you start saving some of those funds, and now being intentional with saving them so that you can invest them, you are not going to get more. See, what we tend to focus on more is about how can I increase my income, right? And typically when we increase our income, then what happens? We have to spend more to match that income. See, that's the wrong mindset, guys. And what I implore you to do is to think about it for yourself. Think about how you are managing your funds now so that you can get to your next level. Don't be that non-existent investor. Don't be at ground zero, right? And I know ground zero can have a negative connotation, but that's what I'm trying to relate to you. Don't be in that space. Are you in that space? If you are, so own it, recognize it, and take the next step so that you can get out of that space. All right? The next level investor is that level 1 investor. And these are typically your borrowers. Patience is a virtue, right? Patience is a virtue. The next level investor, guys, is the borrower. These people, your idea, guys, of getting your finances together is getting a new MasterCard or a new Visa card, because you're always trying to figure out how you're going to borrow the money to pay off the next bill and how you can transfer it to this card to make sure you can get to the next month. See, you're playing the game. That's how you solve your problems with your money. You're playing this credit card game, robbing Peter to pay Paul. What are you doing with the credit card? You keep going out and you're going shopping. Why are you going shopping? Because you're depressed about your financial situations. And then being depressed, you go shopping because you call it retail therapy. And guys, I'm talking to you. I know this because I've been there and I've done that and I can relate. So I'm trying to share some things with you about how you move to your next. See, don't be the borrower, that type of investor. That's no good for anyone. That's no return on investment for you. I'll tell you who's making the money on you. The banks are making the money. The credit card companies are making the monies, right? They are investing in you. They're investing in the fact, they're banking their dollars on the fact that you are going to go shopping, that you are not going to pay it off this month, that you are going to be late, right? So now they're getting late fees. They're getting the interest, and they're not just getting the interest one time. They're getting the interest month after month after month. And by the time it's all said and done, you've paid 7, 8, 10 times worth what that item was worth from the beginning. And it's okay, guys, if you are in this area, own it right now and then figure out what is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to do to now get to my next? See, that's the conversation that you need to be having. Recognize where you are, own it, and then figure out your next steps. And then it may not be you. You may know someone who's in this situation, right? And you can now provide some information to them to help them in their situations. And I get it, guys. I have these conversations all the time. All the time, have these conversations. And some people are just not ready to have it. But I'll continue to share it over and over and over until you catch it. Because you don't hear it until you hear it. I say that all the time. But you don't truly hear it until you hear it. We're just like our children. You are just like your child. You can tell them something over and over and over, but they don't hear it from you. They hear it from the next person. But we have to do our due diligence. We have to stay on duty. We have to do what we're called to do, right? And that's to continue to share that message. So make sure, guys, that if that is you, recognize where you are, own it, and then do what you need to do to get to the next level. All right. The next level investor, that next level 2 investor, is the saver. So yeah, you say you are saving. You're doing good at saving. You're saving for that large screen, flat screen TV you want. You're saving for that vacation to Italy. You're saving, right? You are saving in CDs. You're saving inside of all of these safe investments, but you're saving to consume, guys. It's good to be a saver. Yes, it is. And it's good not to carry debt, but to only save to consume. What do I mean? You're only saving to buy stuff. You're not saving to invest it and grow it for you. See, we missed the boat. That's part of the story. That's part of your story. Yes, it is. And it's a great part of your story. And we all need to have savings. And we all like to get things. Yes, you do save some things to consume. That's not the message that I want to share. Hey, baby, you were sick. Go back upstairs and get into bed for mommy, okay? Sorry, guys. But it's life. This is real life. This is the life. This is what you have to deal with in the real world. When you have children at home, you run your business from the house. These are the real things you get to deal with, right? So I mean, it's real life. I apologize. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, right? That's my baby.
Yeah, we all got choice. Right? We know.
Regardless, all right? So now for that saver, guys, like I said, guys, it's important. Yes, it is important to save, but don't make that the only thing that you do. Only putting things in those safe investments, only having a CD or a certificate of deposit, only saving in that bank money marketing account because it is a safe investment. They're only going to pay you the minimum to have your money in those accounts, guys. Yes, you do get some, but it's not a significant amount of money that's going to amass to anything much for you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't amass to that much for you guys. So what we have to recognize now is what are some of those things that we can now do? How do I now transition from the safe investor or the safe saver, right? That's where I am right now. I'm a safe saver because I'm putting my money in these safe places where I now know that I won't lose my money. But how do I now move to the next level? Because I'm educating myself so that I can now not only save my money and grow it, but I can also take that money and now invest it and grow it even more significantly. And just because we hear, oh, I can get 15% return, 20% return, 32% return on my money. Nah, that's too much like gambling. That's the thought. That's the mindset that some of us have. See, guys, we got to move out of that. That's the way you build generational wealth. You have to take on some level of risk, but you have to be educated in the risk that you're taking so you're not just gambling, right? If you want to gamble, just go out there and buy your lottery tickets and hope and wish that you're going to be one out of 200,000 gazillion to win on that day, right?
Right.
So in looking at these different levels of investor, the next level of investor, guys, is the smart investor. And that smart investor, basically, what do I mean by the smart investor? This person is typically educated, right? They have some level of college or post-secondary education. They're investing inside of their 401ks, but they don't really know what they're investing in and why. They're investing, yes. Mm-hmm. They are investing. They're putting their monies in, but they don't have a clue where their money's at. They don't have a clue what the commissions and fees are on their monies. All they know is HR. All you know is the HR department told you to sign on this dotted line, to select from these choices that are here, that are outlined for you, so that this amount of money can be taken out of your check on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis. That's what you know. That's the extent of what you know. And you think, yes, I'm doing it. I have my retirement on fleek. Do you really? Are you truly maximizing it to get to your next? And Janine says, I'm ripping you guys off this morning, and that's okay.
No, she meant the credit card companies.
Oh, okay, got it. The credit, yes, they are, absolutely. I missed that. Yes, ripping them off. Can you read that because
Sarah says yes because she's read the details. She's read the details, but he didn't even try to break down that legal jargon.
Yes, don't. And that's another thing that gets us, guys. The legalese inside of each of those documents. And that's if the truth be told, that's what's holding you back from investing. Because you hear those terms like PE ratios and ROEs, and you be like, what in the world are they talking about? Yeah, we got the bear market and the bull market stuff down pat, but beyond that, we're like, what in the world are they talking about as far as these investments are concerned? When all it is, guys, it's just like when you were in biology class in high school, and I always go back here because biology is my love, right? It's just like in biology. When we said gel electrophoresis, you were like, what? The first time you heard that? But when somebody said, oh, it's just taking the DNA and it breaks it down into units so you can actually see where it's coded. And you're like, oh, I remember that. The same thing in investing terminology, guys. The PE ratio, the price earnings per share ratio. See, those types of things, guys, all you got to do is learn that basic terminology. Yes, it seems like legalese to us, or jargon, right? Or all of those different acronyms. Every business has acronyms. All you have to do is learn the language, and then it becomes simple for you. But we don't take the time to do the small things. And if we took the time to do those small things by educating ourselves, you will be amazed at how empowered you become in your opportunities to invest. And I'll be 100% clear with you guys. When I first took control of my own money as an investor, I was scared as all get out. I was like, oh no, finally on me. I can't blame anybody else if I lose everything. I cannot blame Merrill Lynch. I cannot blame TIAA Craft. I cannot blame TD Ameritrade. I cannot blame T. Rowe Price and all the individual brokers and accountants that are inside of those brokerage accounts. I can't blame them because now I've taken responsibility for that. And I tell you, it's scary at first, and I get it. But until you learn to control your money's going to control you. As simple as that. Mm-hmm. Until you take the time, make it a priority for you, make it a priority for your family, and dare I say, make it a priority for your community. Until you take the opportunity to do those things, guys, to build generational wealth, because that's what we're called to do, we'll continue to fall into this rut. We'll continue to live in poverty. You'll continue to be in a space that you do not want to be in. You'll continue to be broke, busted, and disgusted. And I know you're tired of me hearing that. I'm tired of saying it, but I'm going to say it until you hear it. Right? Pay yourself first. Tired of hearing that. I know that. I'm tired of saying that. You're tired of hearing it, but you need to hear it, guys. Pay yourself first. See, thinking about all these different levels of investor, where are you and who do you know in each of these levels that you can now help? You can say, come on, girl, I got something for you. Come on over to the Fearless Morning Show because they're teaching us. Right? They are teaching us over there how we can now move to our next inside of our finances, how we can move to our next in our lives so that we don't have to sit here. They're having true confessions and conversations over there, y'all. Invite the whole family, right? Because it's about us growing and going together. And it doesn't matter if you're the tortoise or the hare. If you catch on fast or if it's slow to come to you, it's okay. We can all get there. You get there at your pace. You get there based upon your financial situation is the story I'm trying to say. But what you have to do, guys, is to make it a priority. That's what's most important. So are you making this a priority for you, managing your finances well, right? It's April is Financial Literacy Month, guys. And this is what I'll be talking about not only all month long, I talk about this all year, right? I talk about this all year.
You want to ask Romy?
That's Romy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Romy, I only provide my classes.
No, our class on Saturday. Romy, you talking about our class that we're having Saturday?
Okay. The class on Saturday is open, but if you're talking about the investing class, yeah, that's for women. The class on Saturday, Love Your Life, Love Your Finances, part 2 is at 10 a.m. on Saturday. This Saturday, April 7th at 10 a.m. bit.ly.
Oh, we're here every morning at 7:15, Romy. Catch us 7:15 bright and early every month, weekday morning.
Right. Okay, good deal. I was a little confused by the question, but that's cool. Yes, sir. Every morning. And I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Romy, Romey.
That's right.
That's a guy. Because you never can tell these days. All of our names sound alike. My name is Lynn, and people will be like, "Are you a male or a female?" I'm like, "You can't tell I'm a female, but that's okay. I get it." Lynn, Lynn. Yeah. Okay, so I digress. But nonetheless, for your investing, guys, make sure that you are doing what you need to do to get to your next. So let me go through a couple more levels of investor that you may either recognize where you are, right? And if you are in this place, don't stay in that same level. Do what you need to do to move up to the next level. Why do I say that? Because most people, if you look at them and look at their lives, they'll stay at the same level their entire lives because they've done nothing differently. And I don't want you to be in that same situation. I don't want you to stay in that place. Okay. So in looking at it, the next thing is the long-term investor. See, and that's one of the things that I have to implore you. That's how Warren Buffett got to be to the place where he is with the long-term investing philosophy. But it's not the same long-term investing philosophy that you've heard about, where they say if you start at 20 years old, put in $20 a month, or put in $100, you'll have $1 million by the time you retire. That's not the long-term I'm telling you about. I'm talking about long-term investing where you can now grow your money significantly within 8 to 10 years. Now, isn't 8 to 10 years a more reasonable time frame for many of us, especially if we're in our 40s, our 50s, and our 60s, right? Because we're nearing very closely to our retirement. And if we get the education and we develop the skill, right? We have the mindset, we develop the skill, and we put it into practice intentionally. Now that we'll learn to invest and protect our portfolios and grow those over time. Why? Because we've done the research. We've learned how to invest in companies we know, like, and love, that we can understand, and that we know that those companies have a durable competitive advantage. Those companies are going to be able to sustain themselves. That's what we know. See, guys, until you educate yourself on what are those things you need to be looking for, then you'll continue to follow the masses. You'll continue to listen to CNN and MSNBC, right? Y'all will catch that later. MSNBC. And they'll say, "Oh no, the stock market is crashing." And what you'll do, and what we've seen happen over and over, the baby boomers take their monies out of the market. They're running and taking their monies out of the market because they've heard these analysts say on the television that you need to buy, or sell, right? And you run and you go and do it. They say, not knowing why. All you know is somebody said it on MSNBC, or somebody said it on CNN or ABC or CBS, whichever news affiliate you listen to. Somebody said it there. And so you followed the masses and you went and you removed your monies, as opposed to, let me tell you this, and I say this over and over, that is when the greatest transition of wealth happens in this country. The greatest transition of wealth happens in this country when we see an economic downturn. What do we see happening? The stock market is starting to crash. What do you see? You are getting afraid. You're getting afraid that your money is now losing money. So what do? You sell your stocks. Who buys up your stocks? Those big banks, those big companies, those Berkshire Hathaways, which happen to be Warren Buffett's, right? All of the banks, all of those big institutions behind the scenes, what are they doing, guys? They're buying it up. They're buying it up. Why are they buying up your stocks? Because they're now on sale. They're getting $10 bills on sale for $5 now.
Mm-hmm.
When you are running, right? When you're running from the stock market declining, they are gaining wealth because they know and recognize they've already done their research, and they know that this company is worth X number of dollars. And if I buy it now at the low, it's going to rebound because they've been studying these trends in the stock market for years. And they know which companies are going to sustain. See, that's what we now have to do, guys. We have to adopt those philosophies in our investing. But we don't do that because we haven't taken the time to make it a priority.
That's right.
And we're not intentional about it. What is our go-to statement? I'm sure you probably said it. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. That's more than likely what you said. But if you think about it, we all have the same amount of time. Mm-hmm. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. Whether you're rich, you're broke, you're old, you're young, you have that same amount of time. But it's about prioritizing your time. Mm-hmm. Is building generational wealth a priority for you? Is being able to retire financially above, a little bit above comfortable, right? Is that important to you? Is that a priority for you? Is being able to take care of your children's children important to you? If it is, then you need to go ahead, guys, and develop that plan for you so that you can figure out what are those things now that I need to do. Because I got to figure out, first of all, I need to manage my money appropriately. Right? Are you managing your money appropriately? If you're not, build the financial foundation there first so that you can do that. You need to be able to identify funds now that you can set aside to invest. And it doesn't take an insurmountable amount to start. That's the story that I'm trying to share with you. You can get started. And what the end goal is, guys, and I know I say it doesn't take a lot, but the end goal is to, yes, you do want to have a lot so that you can now invest and get an ROI on that and continue to repeat that cycle. Mm-hmm. You will be amazed at how quickly you can do it if you simply set it up in the right way. See, that's what we have not been taught. You have not been taught how to set up your finances in the right way. You have not been taught how to invest. You have not been taught what are the key look-fors. You have not been taught what are those things that's going to tell me that this is a wonderful company, that that CEO is doing the right thing, that they are doing these things appropriately inside of this business that I want to own through stocks. See, you haven't been taught that. It's not your fault that you were not taught it, but it is your fault if you do not move forward from this point. Let me be clear. It is not your fault that you were not taught, right? Because those before you more than likely didn't have the knowledge themselves. But it is your fault if you don't do anything from this point moving forward to get the knowledge you need to develop the skills you need, right? So that you can now invest and protect your portfolio. See, that's what we're talking about, guys, because there are different things that you can do with long-term investing and their short-term investing, right? But we have to now educate ourselves so that we can move to our next. That's my message to you. I'm Lynn Demmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. And that's it for my financial confession and conversation this morning. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Ms. JoJo.
Good morning, guys. And I think another thing, Lynn, people have to think about too is even if we're talking about all of this, and it truly doesn't matter the money amount that you have in your account. It does not matter what you do not have. Either way, you're starting at foundation first, where you have to be educated first, so you know where to start. Period. And if your account is in a negative, if you live in paycheck to paycheck, the first thing is to take a look at your money and assess what your money is doing. Where are you spending your money? And I did mine for the whole year last year. And my eating out, and I kept the paperwork, cost me a little over $7,000 eating out last year. Just eating out, period. And I always say we don't eat out a lot. That dollar menu will keep you broke. Okay, so if you Wells Fargo will, you can get your bank statements by the month. I got mine by the month, put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and then filtered down how I wanted it to look. Look at your money. It will hurt your feelings when you think you don't have any. You truly have money if you take out your eating out every morning. If you take out that soda you gotta have, that biscuit you gotta have, that donut. By the time we eliminate some of that just for 1 month, you'd be surprised how much extra you have left over that you didn't know that you had. So, yeah. All right, that's my intake, Lynn. Go ahead.
Can I add one more thing, guys? Because we always say it doesn't matter about your income, it matters about your outcome. Case in point, everybody remembers Mike Tyson, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In his 20 years of fighting, Mike Tyson made over $400 million. Hear me and hear me well. Mike Tyson made $400 million. But at the end of that time frame, guys, this was a guy who made millions of dollars a fight. Right? He's not the only one, but he's the one that I know that ended up with a negative $38 million net worth. Yeah. That's why I said it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. And I know that's an extreme number, but you would think, man, if I made, don't you think that? If I made $400 million, my life would be set. But he ended up at negative 38 million, y'all. Somebody need to catch this. It's not about what you make. It's about what you keep. And it's about how you now grow that. All right? So let's do that, guys. Make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. That's the formula. Make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. I'm sorry, JoJo. I am way over my time, so I will be quiet.
Excuse me, I'm like Malachi. I got a little choked up this morning. All right, guys. So the feeling started today. If you missed my ADA meeting, ADHD moment on Friday, go back and watch Friday's show because Lynn called me out on my ADHD. I know, but it's okay. She's learned to go with my train of thought. And so I finished listening, and I may post the video because the video was amazing. So I finished listening to this video. And when I tell you this man hurt my feelings, like I had to stop the video, Lynn, and walk away because my feelings were so hurt. And he had an interesting question. And he said, are you interested or are you committed? And the guy said, well, what's the difference? So he had a mentor, and his mentor was in real estate, and he was 19, and he had been in and out of jail, and he was trying to get his life together. He's like, his mentor said, if you want to learn real estate, I'll mentor you. But he said, are you interested? Are you committed? And the 19-year-old said, well, what do you mean? Am I interested or committed? He said, because if you're interested, you will use every excuse in the world not to do what you need to do. You ain't got enough money. You don't have enough time. You're not smart enough. You're tired. You don't feel like it. You don't want to. Your mama on your nerves. You came from a bad family. If you're interested, all of those excuses will stop you from doing what you need to do. But if you are committed, then none of those excuses no longer apply, and you are only focused on achieving what you are committed to. I said, what? Because some of those excuses, confession moment, I have used, Lord, I'm so tired. Can I get a day off? I know I need to go work on this presentation, but let me just lay here for 10 more minutes. And so the question of the day is, are you interested? Are you committed? We talk all the time about how to live past crazy in your life and your finances, but are you committed to it? Are you interested? Because if we look at it, let's take Lynn for instance, because if we're just interested in what Lynn is saying, if we're interested in what I'm saying, you're going to come here every morning and you're going to listen. And that is absolutely wonderful. We appreciate you. We love you. But if you're committed, when Lynn says these are 7 types of investors, or I say these are the 5 steps to live past crazy, and the first one is to just stop, then when you get off Facebook, you're going to stop. You're going to stop. I said, you stop for the day, you take a weekend, and you just stop and be still so that you can hear and pay attention to what's being said to you, as opposed to always going so that you're not able to hear. Stop for a minute. So are you interested, or are you committed to this journey? Because here's the thing. Don't make me break out my quote, and it's getting raggedy, y'all. They ain't got no stick to it no more. Somebody is waiting to hear your voice, and they will not move until you move. So you being interested may be hindering somebody else from getting where they need to be. Because once you learn, I say this all the time at the end of the show, once you learn this information, you are charged to go share it with somebody else. It is now your job, because now you know you can't be an information hoarder. You've got to share it with somebody else. So if you know somebody that's living in crazy in their life and their finances, and now you know something, you've got to share it. And Romy, we are all, let me tell you how guilty I am. I told you I had to stop the video, and I didn't listen to it the rest of the day. I had to come back the next day. I had to listen to it on the drive Saturday, because it hurt all of my feelings. Because it made me think about all the things that I'm interested in that I have not completed. I mean, I was gung-ho in the beginning that I found the information. You know, Lynn, how we do. You so excited. You got, I'm a notebook junkie. I went and bought pretty notebooks because I'm going to write in them. You see these notebooks? I think it might be writing on 20 pages of that 200-page notebook, if that. And we get all interested in things, but we're not committed to them. And as we are building generational knowledge and wealth and foundation, and life foundations for our family, because some people think, why not, who am I to be doing this? Why not you? Somebody in your family is absolutely waiting on you to do this. They're waiting on you to stop being interested and be committed to what you're doing. Because until we're committed, they always gonna say what they tell me. Lord, JoJo, what you doing now? Why I gotta always be doing something? I always gotta be doing something. But that's how they're gonna associate you. Lord, JoJo doing this now. Well, she used to do that, but she's doing this now. So what are we committed to? What are we going to actually implement? What are we going to change? What are we going to walk out instead of just being interested in it? Because education without application is nothing. Because we can be book smart all day long, and that's it. Remember last week I talked about you have two options, life or death. That's it. So we may be speaking it, but are we walking it? You've got to walk it out, guys. So pay attention to what's happening around you. Pay attention to your words. Pay attention to what we are being interested in and what are we committed to. And whether you believe it or not, you're committed to something. Whether you said it out loud or not, you're committed to that negative bank account because you're not stopping it. You're committed to living in crazy because you haven't stopped that crazy relationship. You ain't stopped that crazy friendship. And some of us have some crazy friends up in this piece. And we know we don't need to be friends with them anymore. But what do? Child, I don't want to hurt her feelings. And, she don't bother me that much. And I limit my time with her. Okay. And then where does that get you? Right back in the same spot again. So think about that. Are you interested or are you committed? What are you committed to? As we start this motivational Monday, as we start this week after Resurrection Sunday, what are we committed to? I like to, when we come back tomorrow or throughout the day, y'all share this video. And then, we on YouTube. So if your friends and family do not have Facebook, you can always share the YouTube channel with them. Let us know, what are you committed to? What are you committed to do this week? And then the guy, Lynn, he also said, once you figure out, if you can't decide that you want to be committed, sometimes you have to break it all the way down to the ridiculously simple. I call it keep it simple, stupid. He said ridiculously simple. And he said, so if you know you want to work out and you know you want to lose weight, but you are doing everything but that. So you look at it, what can you do right now, this instant, to make you get towards your goal? And so one of the things was, if I know I want to lose weight, he said, don't even think of it as that big. Think of it as, what do you want to do right now? Do 2 push-ups right now. When you put time on it, it makes it different, and your brain is going to start to rewire. And y'all don't get me started on the brain science. I'm into that. I'm gonna do a whole class on that one day. But your brain will start to rewire itself. He said after 66 days, 67 days, your brain is automatically going to function on its own without you telling and forcing it to do something different. He says, so you got to start out. Let me do 1 push-up, or let me do 2 push-ups, or let me check my money today, or let me check it tomorrow. And then you have to manually do that until your brain takes over and starts to do that for you. But it's all about being committed and not being interested, because we can be interested in a whole lot of things. I'm interested in basketball. Lord, no, I can't play it, so I'm not committed. I'm not committed to it, but I love to watch it. I'm interested in dancing, but Lord, no, I cannot dance. I am not committed to that. So what are you committed to? As we finish out the Fearless Morning Show, you guys start your Monday. And we're getting off of here because we're over time. It's 8:05. We want you guys to have a wonderful day. So what are you interested in, and what are you committed to? So, and then share that thought with your friends and family today to get that answer. And it's never, please don't come and tell me I'm too old, it's too late. I don't want to hear no excuses. Are you going to be committed, or are you just going to be interested for the rest of your life? And if you're interested for the rest of your life, please understand, your bank account may still look exactly how it's going to look. Your relationships will still look exactly how they're going to look, because you are the only common denominator in your life, period. So, because people interact with what you put out. I'm off that soapbox. So, all right, guys. Trina, I'm glad you made it safe. That was a nice little walk for this early in the morning. She's been walking for a while. All right, guys. Don't forget, there was something else I was going to say, Lynn. What was it?
I don't know, but while you think about it, I beg to differ with you in that infatuation with basketball, because you are the best Duke fan I know.
Girl, you know I'm a Carolina fan. Don't play with me. She be playing with me, y'all. She be playing. She know I am a Carolina fan. To my heart, Lynn. Why you do me like that, Lynn? That's all right. All right, guys. Oh, here's the other thing. Don't forget your Be Fearless bracelets. We have them in different colors. This one is multicolor, and this one is purple. We have them in absolutely every color. And I posted a link to the store. We have T-shirts and bags, just anything that you need to remind you to be fearless. That's what it is. She know I'm true blue, honey. I am if you see my laptop, and Lynn has seen it, I got Tar Heel stuff all over the front of my laptop. You flip it open, it's on the inside. We don't play up in this piece. We love the Tar Heels. All right, guys, we hope you have a great Monday. We'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. And please come back and share with us, what are you going to be committed to? Even if it's just this week, or even if it's just today, what are you going to be committed to? And let us know so that we can walk this out with you, because we all need somebody to walk it out with us. That's why it's called a Confessions and Conversations show, because we're all in this together. Anything else, Lynn, before we close out today?
Guys, don't forget to join us on Saturday, bit.ly life finances 2, 10 a.m. We'll be going into more details around investing. What are the steps you need to take? How do you begin? How do you truly protect your portfolio? What are the things you need to be doing to move to your next, as well as in your life? We'll be continuing that conversation. bit.ly/life finances 2, guys. Join us.
Yep, we'll see you guys bright and early on Saturday. If you're going to join the class, I posted the link so you can go ahead and register for that. If you missed part 1, we will have the link so that you can catch up and watch part 1 as well, so that you can get all the foundation informational things that you need to get you started to live past crazy in your life and your finances. All right, guys, have a great Monday. We'll see you here bright and early in the morning. Have a good one.
Signing off.